All right, everybody, welcome back to Movie Talks and Chill, continuation of day 4. I got a couple of interviews left here. You know who we are. We're Movie Talks and Chill. Who's our special guest? So if you wouldn't mind introducing yourself, sir.
Coley.
All right, Coley. And what brings you to Sunscreen?
A movie.
All right, then. So it's going to be easy. What movie is that? What's the name of the movie?
Jeebus.
Jeebus.
What's Jeebus about?
I made it. Jeebus is it's about a satirical second coming.
Okay.
It's a divine comedy. Jesus comes back as a beach bum named Jeebus to teach America how to love each other again. Mm-hmm. And it is baked in classics like Mel Brooks, Blazing Saddles, Monty Python, Holy Grail, Sacha Baron Cohen, really tripped out meta satire.
Have you ever seen a show called Lucy, Daughter of the Devil?
No.
So it's an old, early 2000s cartoon, but it's Lucy, the daughter of the devil. She's going to college, and she meets a DJ who looks just like what Jesus, but he's got headphones all the time. He's like, "Come on, brah."
Yeah. Well, there's and things like Midnight Gospel, and Annie Don and South Park. Some people have called my style live action South Park. It's just really edgy, but with a good intent.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Nice. And so what kind of inspired you to create this project?
A fever dream and near death. I'd written 10 movies, and I had made season 1 of my TV show. I'd made 20 music albums, 200 podcasts, 30 music videos, 108 terabytes worth of stuff, old school shaman, just building my Coley content universe on some Stan Lee shit. And then this project was the first thing that I ever made that was kind of not in the plan. And I followed it, and after learning from making all that other stuff, when the universe gives you inspiration, you got to immediately follow it, or it's going to go elsewhere, right? And that's a beautiful thing. It's not a competitive thing. If the universe wants something made, it's going to give it to somebody it thinks can do it, and if you don't do it, it's going to go somewhere else, right? Mm-hmm. And so, it's March of 2020, Valentine's Day. I'm in LA. My girlfriend at the time was Chinese and in Queens, and so I went to visit her flying on Valentine's Day from LA, Ground Zero, to Queens, Ground Zero. Poor timing. I've since dated American. No, I'm kidding. No, she was an awesome woman, but caught COVID. And so I got that first one, which was fucking nuts. I've since caught it 4 more times, so I'm a COVID connoisseur, and Omicron's actually pretty pleasant. I recommend that one, but
The dreams are great.
Yeah. It's like not the worst mushrooms, but if you've had COVID, the signature trait is this Scarecrow and Batman shit. It's like bad mushrooms. You are terrified. It's really tripped out, and that first one was 1,000 times worse than the rest. And so I had double pneumonia, blood clots, seizures. I couldn't walk for 3 months. My blood pressure would jump to 200 just by standing.
Oh, wow.
Probably a mini stroke or 2 in there. I'm very lucky to have lived. And I was more of a meditator, Taoist. I liked studying all sorts of world religions and Joseph Campbell, Power Myth stuff. And then you get that COVID, you kind of start praying. It's as the great 50 Cent says, gangsters get religious when they start bleeding.
Right.
It was that. And I, like a Philadelphian where I'm from, I had, it was like I'm bartering. I'm like, look, dude, or quantum dude, you definitely don't have a dick. Trans, God's trans, if you will. But you're like, and people would say that's super provocative, what I just said. It's it's definitely more accurate than a biological male. There's no way God's a biological male.
It's an entity that you can't, it doesn't exist on this plane.
It's trans. It's quantum trans. It's as trans as it gets. It's transient. It is. I don't know, but
It's the space cloud from Futurama.
Right. It's fucking the Cheerios in the sky. I don't know, but so I'm twitching, every day, extreme pain, and I'm like, look, man. Or dude, whatever. I have had a great life. I've been luckier than most, and if you took me now, fair enough. For me, as far as what my nut out of this was. But if you let me stay, the rest is yours. Because I'm with house money at that point. I mean, I really probably should have died, like for real. Like I was meditating 10 hours a day. I was dating a Russian doctor who gave me all these off-label prescriptions, and that might have been the difference. You know, I'm really lucky. I eked it out. And so I say this thing, and then I get, just like I do a song, nothing, I'm not even close to Jesus. That would be psychopathic. I'm a comedian. But as you know, as artists, ideas do come from a shamanic place. I mean, whether it's a song or a podcast thought or an intuitive joke, you know? And so this first draft came to me in a voice memo. And then I moved to Gulfport, Florida, where my pop-up had bought a condo for $40,000. Imagine that.
Yeah, right.
Imagine that.
Yeah. It was 1901, right?
Imagine that. You get a condo for $40,000. You could feed a family with one salary.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, everyone's saying we need stronger families and more stable society, and I agree with that. We do, but throwing a Bible in that house ain't gonna fix it. You know, throw $5,000 extra a month.
Yeah.
You'll have a stable society.
100%.
Okay, so I move into this funky 60s condo where they hadn't changed the furniture, you know, and I'm on the water, and I walk into Gulfport, and I end up casting and crewing the entire town. And all of a sudden I had 400 people. I split the equity with the cast and crew. I had every type of alien you can think of: Black, Latin, Native American, special ed, Max, the local homeless guy, is one of the wise men, and everybody was welcome. And I went from the worst thing that ever happened to me to the best thing that ever happened to me. And here I am today with a finished movie, in utter gratitude to Gulfport. No other town in the world would say yes to that idea.
So is this your one and only film festival, or are you premiering?
We got rejected from every other one. Yeah. Yeah. And I like that. Yeah. We did a premiere yesterday, and I started with a performance of Love Is My Religion with Project Free, Solar Flare. It's like a special ed rock band, artists with disabilities. And we performed our song, which I put on the soundtrack, and then we premiered the movie. And even in that loving environment where people were laughing hilariously the whole time, we had 3 or 4 people leave.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Which is good. Which is
You
good.
did
And
the job.
but this is what I tell them. A satirist is just a mirror. So if you're offended at our movie, I say I made it because where this country's at is highly offensive. If you're not offended by where the country's at, you know, it's disgusting with some of the stuff going on. You know, we got to change. We got to get better. And so I made this movie, and it's the nicest thing I can do. You know, I believe in peaceful revolution, happy revolution. That's why my company's called Revelutionary. And so when they go, this is offensive, it's like, it's better than burning your houses down. You know? And while it might be deserved, you could create a utilitarian argument for it unethically. It's still not a good idea to eat the rich. They probably taste like shit.
And how was the reception of the film here? At the
Awesome.
festival?
People, this is the first time in life I felt appreciation, to be honest. I've developed I'm like this because of rejection, and I'm thankful for it because I've developed such a shield, and my new personal growth in this next phase is to like be open to people might like your stuff.
Yeah.
It's a very new feeling.
And that's the good thing about like with sunscreen. Like they basically, you know, all different diversities, types of films. Like they want to see everything. So and they're welcoming everybody's point of view.
Oh, God bless sunscreen.
Yeah.
There's a reason Salvador Dali was here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
No other town in the world would have got behind me the way this thing was, and it's almost like we're all in on the meta absurdism. Like even the people participating at the commercial and organizational level, right? It's like sunscreen. It sounds like Sundance, but it's a Beach Bum Jesus movie. Like I was hoping I could win just because I could put like all the laurels, but it's sunscreen, you know, right?
Right.
But I actually didn't even go to the award ceremony because I was hanging out with my special friends. It was after the party, we all got, you know, we just had fun, and then we showed up the last 20 minutes, and you know, awards don't care. I want to make it very successful so that everybody on the cast and crew can get a house.
Yeah.
You know, it sounds grandiose, but I did just play Jesus. That's worse. You know, I gave 49% of the equity away, right? And so say it's Napoleon Dynamite, and we make $100 million. You know, it's got that cult classic thing. People tell me this all the time, and I don't say this about all my shit. Again, 20 years, no one cares. So I got lucky on this, but say it's that, that would be $49 million flowing through the local Gulfport economy.
Yeah.
After the hurricane.
And that's what we were talking with earlier, is that
Like,
they own a piece of it.
They own it for life.
Yeah.
And if it's an evergreen like Big Lebowski, you know, in 2042, you know, the Jeebus movie could cover a budget shortfall in town and the tax base. You know, it's like I can't turn water to wine, but I might be able to cover the
Could
utility
help them
bill.
recover after another hurricane that comes in.
That's what I'm
because-
saying. Yeah. So this is where business is art too, and we're trying to walk the talk. All this. So it's like not only are we putting purpose-driven, what we call enlightainment in the movie, not only are we talking about punk rock shit in the movie, we're walking it in real life with the business. We try to socially activate people from the movie to continue. I know for a fact this process bore like 10 other movie communities. And not in that stupid competitive way people are,
Right.
where they're like, you got my idea and you ran with it. I'm like, God bless, that's the whole point. So there's other people who are like, yo, Coley found a way to do this without money and put people together. Now, the movie did end up costing about $400,000 still, but that was the hard cost. I put that up. But everybody worked for back end. Except for Judas, but you know.
He's
He
always
needed
been
those
hard
30
working.
silver.
He got his up front.
Yeah, but Walter's the man. Thank you very much, Walter. He utterly fucking killed it. And I wouldn't want to play Judas either, so you know, you got to get the money. I hear you. And he made it his own. He did. He made it its own. He ended up creating this thing where it's like a two-sidism guy, but he's also like anti-capitalist. It was a really cool thing. And we got these. It was all these local. You know, we're like, oh, you're good at logistics, you're a producer. You're good at style, you're a stylist. You're funny, you're whatever. And then we got a couple big people by accident. Wayne Diamond, who's in Uncut Gems,
Oh, wow.
Adam Sandler's movie. We got Rodney Norman, who blew up on TikTok. He's got millions of followers, and he plays God. We got Walter, who's got millions of followers. He's like a liberal activist in New York. We got Siobhan, local superstar rock star, who sings at the Tampa Bay games. We got Richard Jordan, a big actor out of Philly. Or I've worked with him for 10 years, and now he's like in Tires, you know, that show with Gillis and whatever. And
Oh, yes.
and we got Brittany Brave, who is like one of the biggest comedians out of Miami, female comedian. She's going to be a superstar. We got Molly Cobain, who is like blowing up in Philly right now, and he's with like Freeway and Wallow and Gillies Camp. He's got tons of followers, and he's like in the reform movement thing that Jay-Z and all them do, where like helping people who got out of prison or to get them out of prison. And he got out of prison, I think it was like 2015 or 16, and had a life coach, not the $99 a month kind, you know, a friend. And we and his first skit, I put him in. And then he blew up. So I'm calling these people based on charisma. And I think it's going to be one of the movies. Like, there's a movie from the 80s that's called something like Hot American Summer or
Wet
something.
Hot American Summer.
Yeah, and there's like all these superstars like Paul Rudd. And
Yeah.
but it's all before they were famous.
Right.
And it's like, how did they all get there? I think it's going to be one of those where people are going to look back 10 years from now and be like, whoa.
That's
you know?
that's definitely one of my favorite cult classics too.
Yeah, it's like, so we got something going with it. And, you know, fucking grateful as shit. You know, it's lucky. But.
So right now it's going through the film festival circuit. Is there
here. It's
this
going through
circuit?
here. It went through here.
Eventually, where can anyone else see it?
You can get it at jeebusmovie.com. We're doing a direct-to-consumer model first, so we're super indie. But we plan for massive success, and one day we'll license it to Netflix, Amazon, whatever, like an arms dealer, like Sony did, instead of making the pipes. But for now, we want to build up our clout so we know our value. Like, when they do come calling, I'm not going to give it to them for cost plus. I'm going to be like, we need 100 M's. And I'd be like, look, you make IP movies, right? You make IP movies, right? Well, who's more famous than every Marvel superhero of all time combined? Jehovah, Jesus. You know, and also I was in LA for 2 years and got a massive chip on my shoulder from it. You know, you come out there and you're like, we could help the election. It's a purpose-driven movie. It's a comedy. And they're like, you got any serial killer movies? You know, you're like, you know, we're looking for like, you know, it's Scream 7, but it's got a transformer arm and there's a teddy bear that stabs. And you're like, what?
Hear me out. Fast and the Furious in space.
Yeah. Played by all Mexicans. It's different.
It's different.
You know, and you're like, what? And that's actually kind of more insulting. I don't know. But no, you know, but God bless St. Pete. God bless St. Pete. You know?
Yep. Sunscreen has always been good. We've been fortunate enough to be with them for 4 years now. It's our fourth year here doing this and getting to meet all the people, and it's always a fun time. You know, getting to meet all different types of people with all different types of movies.
No, and let me shout out, thank you to the St. Pete Film Commission, Tony Armour, Lisa, everybody who helped, Gulfport Police, the Gulfport City Council. No other. I always say in New York, I come with this idea. They go, "What's in it for me?" LA, they'd go, "I love it," and you never hear from them again.
Yep.
Philly, they would have robbed you by now, but you like the guy. You know, and that's me before my turn. My what do they call that? Born again.
Yes.
Yep.
Born again.
But Gulfport St. Pete was like, it's for purpose. We're in.
Yep.
They are what LA says they are. You go to Gulfport, Florida, you will see real dirty hippies with the best souls on earth.
Absolutely.
And it's going to be like Walt Disney World, but without animatronics. You see all the superheroes in my movie, they're doing the same shit there. Go to Gulfport, you'll see Max walking around, triple fisting cigs, spitting gems. And Tony and all them, they put up money, they helped us. We had a meeting with the head of city council, mayor's office, the police, fire department, and I literally said to him, we're going to have a really big riot scene that culminates in me getting crucified on a 15-foot cross in the middle of downtown, and then there's going to be a mass shooting that saves Jesus. Sorry, I gave away the end. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert, put the spoiler alert. And they were like, awesome. That doesn't happen anywhere.
Where do we sign?
And then the cops showed up as our security. We had 12 cops as security. I was like, nowhere on earth would this have worked.
Only in St. Petersburg.
Only.
St. Petersburg, Florida.
Yeah.
Not Russia.
Yeah. That one go a little different. We all would be missing. And let me say on that, patriotism. We should all be patriotic about our country. It's amazing. For the exact reason that punk rock's awesome. You're allowed to throw a middle finger at it. That's the whole idea. The whole idea is that you can be like, that sucks. And so, yes, it does. And it sucks a lot right now. But if we get optimistic and love that, I could not do what I do in China or Russia.
Yeah.
St. Petersburg, Moscow, Coley's like, I don't think you're doing it.
Please step into the back room real quick.
Yeah. They're like, he was really happy, but for some reason he jumped off a hotel.
Yeah, with his feet tied.
Weird style.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
But again, thank you for joining us, man.
Sure.
We love meeting, like I said, again, we love meeting all these people. Just get everything. I'm so glad you got a great response here.
Yeah, dude.
Excited that you were able to make your film.
Yeah.
We're excited to see what comes next with it, make that money. Get that thing out there.
And we'll be rinsing and repeating. So if anybody wants to get involved, come sign up for our mailing list. Reach out. We're very accessible. What would Jeebus do? So I'll hit you back. We're casting. We're crewing.
Yep.
You got a funky skill. You're weird. You're fucked up. Come. We're bringing the 60s back, and I appreciate y'all so much. Love y'all.
Thank you so
guys.
much.
And so we'll also keep in contact, and then that way, if there's any updates on like what happens with the movie next, we'll be happy to reshare that.
Cole's in prison somewhere because of something.
There you
go. Yeah, help me get out, please.
Live from San Quentin.
Cole's a CCOT. Like, you can't make a case that this is an immigrant. You can't. We finally got him, guys.
Awesome, guys. Well, thank you for joining us, and for the audience, thank you guys for continuing with us. Sunscreen Day number 4. We're getting close to wrapping up, almost there, bittersweet. But until then, for Movie Talks and Chill, we are your hosts. I'm Tony Serrato.
I'm Gavin Butts.
Patrick Wall.
And J.D. Vance killed the Pope.
Thank you.